Des Smith from Search Domination. This little video I'm going to be talking about what are the 5 pillars of SEO. Every time I go and talk to a prospective client, I end up talking about the 5 pillars when I'm trying to explain what my strategy is to rank websites at number 1. I talk about the 5 pillars because, as the word sort of says, they form the foundation of any SEO campaign. So the first pillar of SEO is relevance. So what I mean by that is when you start a website, you place it out there on the internet, what Google does is it will place it into what they call a sandbox. Google won't rank your website until it is confident that your website is not only relevant to a given niche, but it is also an authority. So when we look at relevance, what we've got to do is educate Google that your domain is relevant not only to your brand, but it's also relevant to the niche industry that you're in. Right? Once we've then educated Google that you're relevant, we then need to educate Google that you are an authority in that niche. You've got to ask the question, why should Google place your website at number 1? Because remember, Google is all about providing quality websites to people who search on the internet. Therefore, we have to ensure that we prove to Google that you are an authority, and we do that via a couple of different strategies, more so off-page strategies, which we'll talk about a bit later on. The third pillar of SEO is on-site health. One of the common problems I see when a client comes to me and says, hey, I've got a website but I'm not ranking for these words and I'm not ranking in multiple locations. The first thing I look at is the architecture of the site, and I also look at the metadata of the site, which again there's a whole video on that alone. But you have to make sure that the on-site health of your website, which includes all the metadata, all of the meta tags in the back end of your website, is such that when someone or when a search bot, be it Google or be it Bing, comes along and scans your site, the idea is that we make the job of that search bot so much easier by saying, hey, this is what our site's all about. But 9 out of 10 websites out there are literally blank canvases. They don't have any metadata, and therefore Google is not confident or doesn't have the evidence that your website is an authority in its relevant area. Okay, the fourth pillar of SEO is competition analysis. So it's important that you are always aware of what your competitors are doing. So one of the first things I do when I take on a client is I'll conduct a competitor analysis. So I'll look at your main competitors, I'll look at what keyword terms that they are actually ranking for, and I'll look at the associated search volume that is obviously aligned with those keywords. I can actually tell when I look at a competitor's website exactly the percentage of traffic coming into their website for any given term. So what that allows is for the likes of my client to identify opportunities that their competitors have taken advantage of, but more so, often the case, opportunities that their competitors have missed and therefore our clients can leverage from. And so it's important to always be analysing what the competition is doing. And the fifth pillar is user experience. Again, Google's all about providing quality websites. The new fast in online websites is 3 seconds. So when someone comes to your website and sees above the fold, so above the fold is what you first see when you come to a website, you've got 3 seconds to start to provide an awesome user experience. And there are certain things that each website should have on each respective page, in particular the pages that we want to rank. So a bit later on we'll go through exactly what constitutes great user experience for a website. So there you have it, they're the 5 pillars, and if you aren't maximising or optimising each of those areas, I'll guarantee you're not achieving the best possible results. So we'll wrap that up. Bye for now, and we'll come back soon.